ladies, today I am here to propose a group for the agency to work with. So we've discussed that the proposed group is for teenage girls between the ages of 13 and 18 who are pregnant. The purpose of the group is to assist the members in overcoming any of the social, emotional, physical, and psychological effects the pregnancy will take on them, as well as be an open forum for the questions that they have about pregnancy and motherhood. It'll be an educational forum as well. Members will receive support for developing healthy eating, proper care and maintenance of their changing bodies, greater independence, and their options for the baby, and education on caring for the baby. The group is being formed because individual work just isn't sufficient enough anymore to provide these outcomes. And the pregnant teens need the support of each other to not feel alone and isolated, and to be able to make informed decisions regarding the pregnancy is what we found. So the girls will feel empowered as they learn and grow in the process using mutual aid and assistance. And the target audience, as I had said, are pregnant teens, especially those who lack familial support. So it's anticipated that membership will vary by size and diversity. However, the ideal size that we're looking for is 6 to 8 members, but there might be a few more depending on the circumstances. And the group will last the duration of the pregnancy and then a month after the birth. It should be somewhat of an open group. So by that I mean that people can continually join if there's the space, but they can't just drop in as they please. It'll be a set time and date that they need to come regularly. And additional groups will be added when the demand is too high for a group to accommodate any more members. The group facilitators will be 2 staff members or a staff member and a volunteer. Now, at least one of the group workers needs to have a BSW or an MSW degree, and outside of those parameters, we don't have any experience required. Currently on staff, we have 3 staff members who meet the criteria, and we have 5 volunteers who are interested as well. 2 staff members and 3 volunteers actually have experience in training and working with teenage pregnancy, and all are trained in facilitating groups. They will be supervised by the case management supervisor who has an MSW and is trained in group work. The group will use a mixture of structured and unstructured formats. During each session, time will be set aside for each actually. Structured activities will include learning more about their changing bodies, prenatal care, the birthing process, options for the baby, care and maintenance of the newborn, and other activities to prepare them for the baby. These will be adapted to the needs and strengths of the group, so we can constantly adjust for the girls. We'll also ask the members to be involved in planning the types of structured activities, but the workers will be the ones who are responsible for executing everything and preparing everything. It is expected that the variations of activities will be utilized according to the group's needs, as I had said, their understanding and their preparedness for the topics. The unstructured time will be more for group talk, improving their self-esteem, establishing greater independence, and discussing any fears, apprehensions, or questions that they have regarding their pregnancy, or options for afterwards. The group is a fit with the mission and goals of this agency, because in the past, the agency's only worked with clients individually in counseling without any group being offered. So this proposal will expand the agency's way of functioning to include group work as a method of providing services. The agency has grown to a point where the size of the client base is sufficient to provide a group like this. We will need access to a room, beverages, snacks, and program material. There is no additional expense for the room though, except for a slightly higher utility bill for the lighting. And we have 3 local churches already lined up who have offered to co-sponsor the group and provide the beverages and snacks. So, as indicated previously, the group will be teenage girls with, who are pregnant with no familial support. And the girls currently being served range from 13 to 18. We have about 40% are Caucasian, 40% are African American, and 20% are Hispanic. And we expect that this will be roughly what the groups will entail as well. We have flyers that we're going to post around the agency and around town, as well as be given to the case managers to give to their clients. In addition, the churches that are co-sponsoring are going to have the material at their churches and also be handing them out to the community. As potential members are identified, the staff that will be working directly with the groups will interview them and assess their readiness for the group and working directly with the group. The staff will assess their readiness for the group and provide the basic orientation for them, but a full orientation will come the first day of the group. As new potential members are identified, a similar process will happen, but the orientation will be more thorough and before they enter the group so that integration isn't so rough and it's a smooth transition for them. The group session will be used to facilitate group formation. We'll have icebreakers, activities to help them get to talking to each other, get to know each other, and introduce each other. The group will be offered various types of program activities and will be asked to identify further information that they would find valuable in the process. We tentatively have decided to meet in the conference room here at the agency from 7 to 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if we have too many, then we'll start a second group from 3:30 to 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. And as we get into it, we'll talk to everybody and make sure what times really work for them and adjust to the girls' schedule. The group workers and members will work together in setting up everything, all the food, and cleaning up everything afterwards so the space can be used afterwards. Transportation and childcare, it might be required. The first option is that the girls just find their own way here. Otherwise, we can offer bus tickets or we can check out the agency van to go and pick them up and take them home for the meetings. We have childcare arranged using volunteers and students who will utilize activities for the appropriate age of the children to keep them busy and learning as well. Now, equipment that we'll be needing for the from the agency is audio video for DVDs, educational DVDs that we'll be using, as well as simulation dolls, diapers, bottles, and formulas to help the girls practice and understand how the basics of childcare. Programmed material on prenatal care and parenting training and some other subjects will need to be purchased, and we're estimating that it will be about $800 for the year. But also the local university and the social work department and the local churches have offered for us to be able to use any of the material that they have on the subjects. The projected outcomes for the group or groups will be that there will be at least 2 functioning groups by the end of the year, one in the afternoon and one in the evening. And each group member will be asked to identify 3 goals during this time. And we'll ask them to execute 1 by the end of each trimester that they're going through. And the measures used will be a combination of goal monitoring by the workers to track goals and self-anchoring scales developed by each member as they identify goals for themselves. I thank you very much for your time. Do you have any questions?
How soon are you going to want to start the group?
We're hoping to start it within the month if we have the approval of the agency.
What about non-English speakers? What about there's a group, like you mentioned, targeting Hispanics? What will you do?
If we can, we have, I believe we have 1 worker, staff member who speaks Spanish. And so we can potentially start a group for them, an individual group for them, if there are enough Spanish-speaking teens who are pregnant to start a group like that. But as of right now, we don't foresee that being an issue, but we want to adjust to that if we can.
How are you going to find these girls?
Well, the agency, we're already working with them, so we have quite a few to work with already, but as I had said, we're going to be going out into the community, and the churches are as well, to get flyers out and everything so people know that we're now offering this to the community. Thank you for your time.